What up?
Hi.
So I have this really complicated story to explain. It's kind of like, it's not really a story. It's just chit chat.
Tell us about it.
Okay. Oh, check this out. This is a side note. Total tangent. This is only a 6-minute video.
And already 10 seconds in.
All right. An intro for the intro.
Do it.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
So maybe like a year ago or so, I was at the thrift store and I got a phone call from Brian, and we were just chatting for for a little bit. And then at one point he was like, "Oh, hey, my coworker said that she was watching one of your videos and she was like, is that Brian? Is that a picture of Brian in the video?" She's like, "What?" And then went up to Brian and was like, "Brian, I think I saw you in a wedding video about someone getting married at Whole Foods. That was our video, dude." So random. Okay, so that's Brian. Brian is our unique friend. One of our most unique friends?
Correct.
Would you say there's anyone more unique than Brian?
Only Jack, maybe. But we haven't seen Jack in years.
Okay. So, they're both quite unique. So, like 8 years ago, Brian was telling us about this band he used to love, right?
Yeah.
He was saying, I don't remember what all he was saying. He was just explaining how fucking crazy this band was.
Yeah.
And how they would their shows would be this like crazy tribal thing, like lots of fucking explosions and fire, and the music's fucking hardcore, right?
Yep.
He was just, he was jazzed about some band from his younger years. So he's telling us about this band, and life goes on, right? And then one day you're at work, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what happened at work? Do you remember the story? I'm like trying to lead you into this conversation. Do you remember what happened?
I was talking to my boss about music, and I brought up this band. Should I name the band?
So you brought up Brian's favorite band? Why did you bring it up? That's so random.
I don't know. And I think actually my boss brought up the name. Like he mentioned it. I was like... And he said that he was in that band.
Dude,
I was like, what?
That's so crazy, because this is your boss at a natural health food store.
Yep.
And he was in some
store manager.
Crazy ass band that, we went and visited them when they were in Taos, when he moved. Anyway, it's like, how to explain all these details? So we're in Taos, and we're hanging out with your former boss, and I was like, "Dude, tell me about the band. I've heard just crazy things about it." And he was like telling me all this crazy ass shit. Like they would like soak all the walls down at like the club so that nothing would catch on fire. He was like, "They would never let us do this now." I was like, "Dude, this is insane." Okay. And all this was a side tangent. This isn't even the fucking story. So that's Brian, and that's your boss, your former boss. Yep. Okay. So the former boss is the guy that our banner picture for our YouTube page. That's him. That's your former boss, dude. That's Brandon. One time when we visited them a couple times. They, lived in Texas for a few years. That's how we met them. And then they were like, fuck this place, and they sold their house. They were like, we'll sell it at a loss. We don't give a fuck. We're leaving Texas. We don't need Texas. Oh yeah, by the way, all these recipes are on the blog, and I have more details about these recipes. All right. So we go to Taos, and our friends sold their house in Texas to live in an Earthship in Taos, New Mexico. So we go and visit them a couple times, and you take this sweet ass picture of Brandon. I was like, dude. And so I messaged his wife, because I'm friends with his wife. I don't really actually know Brandon super well. I've probably only chatted with him casually, but his wife, she's so bad at I could go on tangents about the wife. She's just so fucking cool. So I was like, hey dude, can I take this picture of your husband and use it for my YouTube channel? She's like, yeah. So at the end of the video where it says like where all my social media bullshit is, that's a picture of Brandon. So random, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
people you know.
So somebody was like, hey, who's that person in the picture? And I kind of always wonder, like, do people assume that's just you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're the guy in this situation. So that picture of a guy, that would make sense, but that's not you. So, so our friends, they sell their house, they move to Taos, they live in an Earthship, they start like a fruit stand in Taos and like own their own business. And then they're like, fuck Taos. And they seriously just took off to Hawaii. Like, they sold all their shit. They packed their kids up. They packed a couple, they packed themselves up and they hiked off to Hawaii, right? Just a couple months ago. And we went on a road trip. And I was like, hey, Brian, we were going up the West Coast. I was like, hike your ass. I will give you gas money. Come visit us. We'll be in California. And he's like, I can't. I just moved to Hawaii. Oh my God. I was like, dude, everybody's moving to Hawaii. Fuck. What do we do? Yep. Do we just cry about our pathetic lives?
We'll visit.
We'll visit?
Yeah, I'm sure the weather's nice.
Dude, I'm sure the weather's fantastic. Man, I've got so much more details to say. There's just no time. Peace.